In the Kenobi finale, we see Reva chase and hunt down Luke in an attempt to take revenge on Vader. And the biggest question on the minds of some fans is that does Luke seeing the Inquisitor break canon? That's because in A New Hope, Luke is supposedly introduced to the world of lightsabers, siths, and jedis for the first time. In the film, Luke is given an introduction by Kenobi himself, representing Luke's first step into this larger unknown universe.
That's good. You've taken your first step into a larger world.
However, if Luke had seen Reva years before the events of A New Hope, the question is how would any of what Kenobi say be new to him? Or at the very least, in the 10 years between Kenobi and A New Hope, not be at least inquisitive or curious about the events of that night? After all, if an angry lady with a red lightsaber is chasing you halfway across the desert intent on killing you, it just might seem like something you remember for the rest of your life. I mean, this would probably induce some childhood trauma. And so, because of this scene in the finale, some fans are saying that it essentially breaks the current lore and that it's a massive inconsistency to the overall continuity, sort of ruining the magic of A New Hope when Luke gets to learn about all these new things. So I decided to take a closer look at whether or not Luke meeting Reva really broke canon at all. And rewatching the entire scene, I've come to realize that the writers did something pretty clever to circumvent the issue of Luke meeting Reva. So let's break it down frame by frame. When the Lars first learn about Reva's arrival, they tell Luke to go and hide in a room and to stay hidden there unless told otherwise. Instead of telling Luke that an Inquisitor is after him, they tell him that the Tuskens are out on the hunt, which, for any farmer on Tatooine, is a constant hazard.
The Tuskens are on the hunt again. They're raiding farms along the waste. If anything goes wrong, you know what to do. You run.
So, for the vast duration of the fight between the Lars and Reva, Luke doesn't really see any of it. The first time Reva gets close to Luke is when she manages to get past Owen and barges into the room Luke is hiding in. But before Reva can do anything, Aunt Beru attacks her, allowing Luke to make an escape by climbing up the ladder. And if you notice that by the time we see Luke climbing up the ladder, he has his back to the door, essentially meaning that he doesn't see Reva at all. In fact, Luke is already halfway up the ladder by the time Reva enters the room, which means that Luke was already climbing the ladder well before Reva even barged in. And so it also conveniently means that Luke doesn't catch a good look at Reva with her red lightsaber out. There is, however, a moment when Luke looks back to see who is chasing him. But by then, Reva has already turned off her red lightsaber, and so from Luke's perspective, all he can see is a dark hooded shadowy figure chasing him across the desert. While certainly not a normal looking Tusken, it wouldn't really raise any questions about lightsabers and Inquisitors. And the next time Reva gets closer, she trips him using the Force, which causes him to stumble and tumble down, essentially knocking him out cold. Which means that he really doesn't see Reva raising her lightsaber to strike him down at all. So again, no real question about breaking continuity here. However, you might say, hold on a minute, didn't she use the Force to trip him up? Surely Luke would be asking questions about it when he woke up. But really, consider Luke's perspective. You're running as fast as you can from a mysterious figure intent on killing you, and your adrenaline is pumping hard. By all accounts, Luke probably didn't even realize what tripped him. So even if he had woken up recalling all the exact details, he wouldn't have been able to recollect what tripped him up in the first place. And that is assuming that he didn't have any concussion or memory loss after sustaining the fall. So I do understand why some fans might think it breaks continuity, but if you break it down frame by frame, the series of events line up perfectly to ensure that Luke doesn't ever see the Inquisitor with her lightsaber out. Not to mention the kid is 10 years old. It's pretty hard to tell how his brain works anyways, as to what he picks out or doesn't. So from what I can see, it really doesn't break canon at all. So that was my take on the whole Reva-Luke situation. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. I am the Lost Acolyte,
and I have spoken.